Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty.
Okay, that should have fixed the mic. Apologies. Right. Okay. So yeah, you saw what happened when someone subscribes. There's a new light. There's a new light when you do a subscription. So yeah, do the subs. There it is. Yeah, it should be better. Let me just make sure the volume's on full. I think I was using a different mic for something else. So yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I was using a different mic for something else, so I apologize for that. Right, let's see who got first. Raidable got first today. I don't know what raidable means in French, but I guess it's French. Joshua, thank you so much for 45 months of subs, 45-month streak. You did miss out on the wonderful new sublight, which is fantastic. So if you want to see it light up, you have to sub, and then you get to see a rocket ship in all its pink glory. I spent like far too long with Reed's help coding there yesterday, but it's all working now. Rack and Dold, good afternoon, good sirs. Thank you very much for being here. Mr. Oz Kalena as well. So tired. Some JSMR to get me home from the airport. Well, I hope you're doing well, dude, and I hope your trip was good. This is the Dold as well. A J a day keeps the doctor away. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm not sure I do keep doctors away, but I'll try. Ojam, thank you so much for 16 months of subs, dude. Thoroughly appreciate that. So you're mute. Yeah, we got that. It's a pun with Red Bull, obviously, but it actually means butt crack. Nice. Okay. I did speak a little bit of French back in high school days, but like, you know, it ended with "Où est la bibliothèque?" or "J'habite une piscine," you know, which means I live in a swimming pool. But yeah, my French was never the greatest. Why does people wait till I go live to start to tag me on Discord? That's the way things are. Right, okay, so not huge amounts to do today. Most of it's going to be kind of like just covering up some PT news, because we're kind of into a quiet phase just before Christmas now. Doing some unboxing, because some cool stuff's arrived this week, and prepping the board I'm going to build on Sunday. Yes, I will be building this. I was just trying to work out if I'm going to be building this or something slightly different on Sunday, but it will be this. So yeah, so PT news, where are we up to? Our latest shipment is all done and gone. The only things that are left are the Seabass Thailand edition, which is waiting for some replacement bottom weights because the laser engraving wasn't done correctly. They should arrive just before Christmas. If they do, we'll ship the orders out then, because I think we're air shipping those over to the UK. Then the other one is the number 160s from Keycult. So those are here, but Novel Keys did let us know a while ago in between shipments that the top cases all need replacing. So one of the things I need to do is wait for the replacement top cases to arrive, undo all of the keyboards, take them out of their boxes, take the top cases off, replace the new keyboard tops, and then package them to ship them. I'm not sure how that's going to go in practice, because it means breaking seals and all sorts of other things, but we'll get there. It's just going to take some time to go through and do. We'll see. But other than that, the whole shipment is done. Everything's out. Everything's in stock, and everything's good to go. Our next shipment is just about to set sail from China now. They're loading up the container this week. I think it leaves on the 9th of December. And it should arrive at the UK port on the 20th of January, which means we'll get the stuff here around the end of January. Now, shipping times can be delayed based on how long ships take to sail and how long, you know, a piece of string is, because the weather might affect it, change it. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, so we're aiming for the back end of January for that to arrive. So the first week in Feb is when I'm anticipating that we'll be busy and shipping stuff out, which means that we have kind of like a little bit of a quiet period between now and then, where we'll just be shipping out in-stock orders, and there'll be a couple of group buys shipped from GMK and a couple shipped from Signature Plastics, which they all airship directly to us, and there's a few other bits we're having airshipped to as well, like the Theseus is, but there's realistically maybe, you know, 5 days of group buy work to do over the next 8 weeks, and a few other bits and pieces based on in stock that'll have to happen as we get to them. So we just need to figure out what that's going to look like. I'm hoping selfishly it means more free time for me, because our house purchase is continuing, and I need to start to plan now how that house move is going to happen. We should have confirmation of our mortgage next steps in the next few days, and then I can start to work out a date as to when we'll actually exchange houses and move, which is going to be, you know, something to kind of like plan in. It's kind of scary and kind of busy, so I just need to figure out what that's going to look like. But that's a new year job. So the rest of this year will be get mortgage sorted and get a date, and then first thing in the new year we kind of like plan out how we're actually going to move. Because I think we'll actually be technically homeless for about 2 weeks, because the deal on our house has already selling has already got a date when we have to move out by. I don't think we're going to be able to move into our new house at that point. So I think we're going to have like a period of maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks where we will be technically homeless, but probably living with family. So we'll see how that pans out, but it'll be all good once we get moved into the new space as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. The other thing with PT as well is keyboards and coffee happened this morning. First time ever, no one turned up, so it was quite nice and easy. I didn't have to do anything. The last one for this year will be next week. So if anyone does want to come to Keyboards and Coffee, next Thursday will be the last one we do this year. The reason for that is because I'm just planning on winding down a little bit. I don't want to come in every day. I kind of have other things I need to concentrate on, like starting to pack up belongings, starting to pack up here. I still need to finish my arcade cabinet. I've still got other bits and projects, non-keyboard related, that I'm trying to get finished. And my hope is that by the end of December, I've kind of like tidied all of those up in the quiet time as well. So that's kind of like the plan for the next couple of weeks. We'll still be doing all of the usual group buys and new products launching and a million other things that the team will handle. So it should be nice and fun. It should be nice and fun, and hopefully it'll be relaxed, because then we will be closed for Christmas for 1 week. Usually we do 2 weeks. This year we're going to do 1 week, and we're going to be closed between the 22nd and the 28th of December. Well, technically it'll be the Friday the 19th will be our last day in, and then we'll be back in on the 29th of December and working all over New Year. So yeah. We'll see. Are the rubber Janes in the next shipment? Kevin from KLC said they sent them to PT. Yeah, when that shipment leaves, Rue, the updates will be updated, and you will get all of the updates in the updates. So yeah, so I don't have the packing list for it at the minute. They will provide that once the container is loaded, and that's when we'll note them down as shipping to PT. So if you check the updates in a couple of weeks' time, you'll see whether they're on the way or not. Pure slang here. Ray would be crack and bull, but don't waste your time learning French. Even French people don't speak it properly. Fair. Nothing better than a replacement bottom. Fair cop for the Seabass. Once they worked out there were issues, feels like they really took accountability. If only every board designer and manufacturer was the same. Yeah, I mean, they've done it really well, because they basically just said the boards are on the way to you, Jay. We're making some replacement case bottoms. We'll let you know when they're done. And then the only additional cost that we've got to bear is the cost of shipping them over. Now, I think some vendors had already shipped their boards out, which means they've got additional costs. They've got to ship them all over and then send out the replacement parts. Luckily, we kind of like, we're a little bit different because of our shipping schedule. So yeah, it was one of those things. I hope the ASCII F is in that. They won't give us any info. So I was chasing this yesterday. Hold on. I don't want to mark that as red. Let me see where I got to with... Right, so the message I got from Glendale yesterday said that he'd already confirmed prototypists like unit count, like what we'd ordered, with the manufacturer, and give them the shipping instructions that I'd sent. So we have like a warehouse in China that we have everything shipped to, and that's all managed and everything else. So we have like a series of shipping instructions on how people need to label and package items to send to them, so that we can then ship it over to us. So we provided Glendale with that when he requested it. Back in October. So he asked on the 30th of October, can you let me know how we can ship you the stuff? Sharon actually gave him the shipping instructions, so the team gave him the shipping instructions the same day. And then we didn't hear anything. So I reached out to Glendale yesterday and said, can you give me an update on where our units are? This was at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. An hour later, he came back and said that he'd already confirmed the unit count and everything else with the manufacturer, given them our shipping instructions. So he assumed that they had shipped the units out to our Chinese warehouse. He was going to check with the manufacturer yesterday. I've checked in with our warehouse in China. We haven't received them yet, so I don't know where they are. It's now on Glendale to provide us an update on that. But hopefully, if they arrive before the 6th, if they arrive today, tomorrow, or Saturday, they will be in the container. They will make it into the container. If they don't, they won't. That's the best I can do right now. The warehouse has a sofa. Yeah, the warehouse has a sofa. The warehouse has chairs and sofas. It has wingbacks. It has benches. It has everything. Because I haven't bothered to move that sofa upstairs back into my office since you guys moved it down. Getting 11 days off for Christmas this year, 6 more than I thought. I was getting very excited to get home. Nice, yeah. As I say, this year we will close on Friday the 19th. That will be our last operational day before Christmas. And then we'll be back in on the 29th. And then we'll be closed on Thursday the 1st of January. Other than that, we will be open pretty much as normal. So we'll just be closed the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th, and then the 1st, and that's it. So there won't be much to catch up on or anything else. It'll be nice and easy. And it's significantly less time than we've closed for over every other year. Like every other Christmas, it's always been 2 weeks, just because of like plans and people's holidays and everything else. This year, the Christmas falls right at the end of a week. And our plans are kind of already limited, and with us moving house, it's kind of like we're going to be back at home anyway, so we're not going away. So it just means I can be at the workshop. So Jay, how is Dynacap stock counting going? So Black Friday has delayed me from getting this back live. I think there is a bit of communication issue between me and Omnitype on this. So I went through and created the stock listings based off of the stock count we should have had based on the invoices. I don't know if I've used the wrong invoice or if there's then been a separate invoice or what, but Omnitype's copy of the invoice is different to mine, so I need to look into that. Garrett messaged me about it a few days ago, and I just haven't had a chance to sort it out. Yeah, so I just need to figure it out. That's a house thing. Yeah, there's no shower here, Rack. There's nowhere to sleep apart from a sofa, and for 2 people and a dog, that's not really gonna cut it. So yeah. How does it work when you have to do extra work, like swapping the top of the keyboard in terms of covering the extra cost involved? We have to foot that bill. Like, we don't get any reparations for it. We don't get any extra funding for it. We don't get anything. That is up to us to fix it. Depending on so it depends on the manufacturer. Like, it's a bit of a, like, that's a general answer. So with things like the Thesiuses, where we have to go through and check all of the daughter boards that have been included for all of the solder PCBs, because they're left-handed versions and right-handed versions, and most boards seem to have 2 left or 2 rights, which doesn't work. We have to manually go in and change those out, and we won't get any recompense for that. Even though it will take us, a couple of working days to do it. And we've already had to do it with the ribbon cables, and we'll have to do it again with the O-rings that are missing for that particular product range. With the Keycult number 160s, we were told that the tops were wrong, so that the tops are being replaced. We don't have to pay for the replacement tops, but we do have to pay in terms of time and energy and expenditure of effort to change those, and that will be a cost that we have to bear. For other projects with other vendors, it can be as bad as we have to pay for replacements. So if they produce something, there was a keyboard not so long ago, I won't say the vendor's name, but there was a lead vendor, and they produced all of the weights incorrectly, and then we had to pay for the replacement weights because they had no money to pay for them. So it was either we had no product or we had to submit extra cost to pay for it. But then there's often really good kind of processes and procedures in place with companies like QK and Neo. We don't have to do any upfront QC theoretically with those. We can just ship them to customers, and if there's an issue, they'll fix it forward because they have a really good warranty process for spares and repair parts. We just say this customer's let us know that this part is affected, and then that will be replaced. And we've had another. So, Mr. Gimp, thank you so much for the 29 months of subscribes. I really appreciate that. You did light up my spaceship. So yeah, so it's just one of those kind of things. It depends on who we are working with. It depends on the project. It depends on a million things, but generally, Rue, it's very rare that we don't have to pay for the cost. Like even with warranty replacement parts from QK, they will ship us the replacement part. Let's say you had a damaged top case, they will send me the damaged top case, but then I've still got to pay for the time and effort of checking it, repackaging it, and then shipping it locally. So like there's still costs involved with that, and it's just one of the costs of doing business. But it really depends on who we're working with as to what that looks like. As I say, some projects, it can be a case of we don't have to pay for the extra parts, but we do have to pay for the time to change them. It can be that we don't have to pay for the extra parts, but we do have to pay for the cost of shipping it to the customer. It could be that we have to pay for the cost of the extra parts and we have to pay for the time to change them out. It really depends. That light is epic. Yeah. Yeah, I spent a couple of hours yesterday with Reed coding it all up so it works. There are cars to sleep in too. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to convince my wife of that. Being an issue with the Dynacap 2 housings, that was all solved before they were put into stock Fukami. There were no issues with those for the stock ones. It was all done previously. It was the 2U wires, not the 2U housings. Just have the Dynacap stuff left, pretty hyped about it. Yeah, we will have some stuff in stock in a day or two, and then it will ship really, really soon. And then from there, we will be doing a restock, but I just need to figure out with Omnitype when that restock is going to be. So yeah. Can we have a miniature Kalain to ride that ship? There is nothing miniature about Kalain. He is larger than life. No cap today. It's somewhere about. It's over here. I just haven't got it. I don't always wear a cap when I'm in the office. It's usually when I'm just in the workshop area. What's the ETA for the Rubber Jane to arrive at prototype is? You can check everything else on our updates, Kaiju. So you can go to our updates pages and everything is there. And more will be added to there as we know. We're about to launch a shipment from China. If they're included in that, then that will be updated in the next couple of days. I guess you assess that risk before participating in projects. So, we try to is the gospel truth. The bigger issue keyboard wise is that many of the group buys that happen are done very informally on a very trusting basis. There's no formal contracts for a lot of things. There is no formal agreements. There's no formal documentation. There's no assessment on how issues will be handled prior to them going live. Because if there were, the costs would just be astronomical. The costs would just go up for all of the products that we sell. And it's just not feasible to do that kind of assessment that you would do in general industry. The keyboard hobby is just not big enough. It would add, £50 to £60 per keyboard to start to do all these risk assessments prior. And when we're here in the UK and we're selling like 10% of what the US vendor sells, it's not big enough as an individual project for us to start to look at that. Like the keyboard hobby just isn't that big. It's maybe, and this is going to sound huge, it's maybe 50 million quid a year worldwide. That sounds huge. It's not. Like, it's tiny numbers per individual project, and the vast majority of that is taken up by EULA boards and Red Dragon boards and all of that kind of crap that I don't like because I don't value it and I don't think it's worthwhile to sell to customers. So I have, basically what I'm saying is I haven't sold out on those yet, but maybe I'll have to at some point to keep us going. So risk assessment and cost is it's an inherent risk that we take with every project, and we understand that risk is there. And sometimes there is no risk or very little risk that actually is present when it comes through to fruition. Those risks don't materialize. Some risks have mitigations involved, like with the QK and Neo stuff that does have mitigations involved. And then, other stuff just doesn't have that at all and just carries all the risk. Things like Oceanographer, where the lead vendor dipped after we paid them, and then we had to pay for production for their units and our units again. Things like Rama, you can try and indemnify yourself against certain things with insurances and stuff like that, but even that's not great. it's not a great option because the first time you claim on your insurance for that kind of stuff, you then can't get insured again. So. Total noob question for someone who never looked into it. What board would you use the Dynacaps on? So Dynacap is not keycaps. It's a Topra replacement system. It is replacement springs, domes, housings, wires, and sliders that enable you to build boards using Sipulate PCBs or other electrocapacitive PCBs into modern housing. So you can take Topra and you can rebuild it. Sometimes it comes with built-in plates, and that's a Dynapack. Or later, it's all of the Dynacap stuff that you need for a specific keyboard. For example, for the J01s, we're going to do a Dynapack where you would get the correct Topra pre-milled plate. You would get all of the Dynacap stuff that you need, all of the springs, domes, everything else to actually build that board up in the full EC manner. Or it's sold as Dynacap parts where you can assemble what you need for your own Topra conversion builds. So it really depends on what you're looking to do. It's not the easiest to explain. You can go back and look at the Blue Ridge that I built on StreamDold. That will show you a full Dynapack where everything comes pre-kitted ready for that particular board. And I can show you one of the PCBs, one of the plates here. This is one of the pre-fabricated 4.5mm thick plates for EC. This is for the Blue Ridge. As you can see, it says Blue Ridge down here. And basically it's everything that goes in here to create the switch. So it's all of the sliders, domes, and everything else. And then these come as individual housings, not on the plate as individual housings. So you can see that these are kind of like raised. So you can have this as a 1U housing, or there are 2U housings as well, such as, where are we? Here, 2U housing here, look. They also come as separate parts. So it really depends on what you want to do. Minimi 40s EC, but Navy's design. Yeah, so Navy's are a switch that does that separately. Yeah. Yeah. Dynacap J01, J03 will be great. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still of the mindset, and no one has been able to convince me otherwise yet. The Topra and EC is technically not mechanical keyboard. And I think that's partially down to the fact that I can't find a good definition of what a mechanical keyboard is. But really, Topra is just fancy membrane. That's what it is. It's fancy membrane. So yeah. Just yeah. Have you decided on the material of the J02 plates? So the J01 and J03 will be POM milled, like the plate I just showed you, for EC conversions, or we will have the standard MX version as well. So yeah, that's what it's going to be. It's great quality membrane. Yeah, yeah. It's premium membrane, maybe, you know, or pro membrane. I don't know. You can pick your own qualifiers there. Rubber Blasphemy mentioned. I don't like it's. I enjoy it. I really enjoy Topra. I used the Blue Ridge quite a lot once I'd finished building it. I want to take it apart and rebuild it. I've never been hugely into the Topra world. I've had a little dabbling, and I have some old Real Force boards that are new in box and things like that, which I will have to sell soon because I need the money to move house. But I am yet to find. A good definition of mechanical keyboards at large that covers everything we class as a mechanical keyboard. So I'm thinking things like Beamspring, modern EC, standard MX, Hall effect stuff. You know, I struggle to find a really good definition that encapsulates all of what that is in a cohesive way. But also, and this is the qualifier, it also has to disregard and state that standard Dell rubber domes, you know, membrane keyboards are not mechanical. So every definition that I see people come up with would automatically include those membrane keyboards, because there is a mechanical actuation that you are maneuvering a key to press. Phone screens and keyboards on phone screens absolutely easily ruled out because they're just controlled by haptics and touching glass. Those ones that project onto your desk, easily ruled out with those definitions. But I can't find a good definition that encapsulates everything in the hobby we class as mechanical keyboards, and yet doesn't include all of the shit tertiary stuff that exists with proprietary shit that's out there and membrane stuff. So, you know, I think that's where we need to come to. Mechanical is a very difficult, it's a very useful word, but it's very open. Should I ever get molded MX? That would be a nice rabbit hole to dive into. Yeah, so EC is a completely different thing. I'm still Alice on that one, swirling around the top. I don't think it will replace MX. I think for some people it's nice and it's interesting. I don't think it's for everyone. A Hall Effect mechanical or just fancy magnet? Like Hall Effect's technically been around long. Like one of the Cryosan tried to come up with a definition of this a couple of years ago, and he tried to do it by going back to the early days of, you know, keyboards. And Hall Effect was one of the earliest technologies we had in keyboard world for switch actuations. Before plungers and you know, mechanical contacts were a thing, Hall Effect was there in like the 60s. There's a ton of stuff that used Hall Effect back in the 60s. So he tried to have like a definition, I'm sure, about that was based on the age of the components, and then he kind of like, when membrane started to come out in like the late 80s, early 90s, it kind of like fizzled out. The technology couldn't be built pre whatever year he came up with. It was modern and therefore not mechanical. And if it was possible to use that stuff prior to that, it was mechanical. And I think that was close, but in the wrong way. That kind of limited things too much, because I think there's absolutely new technology that we would class as mechanical that's not there. So yeah, this sounds like a physicist saying economics is not a science. I just think that there's some things are indefinable, and you know, whether you so it's like sciences, right? There's hard sciences and the soft sciences. The hard sciences are things like chemistry, where you're playing with the building blocks of the universe. It's the physics, where you're playing with the laws of the universe. Is economics a law of the universe? No. Is it science? Yeah, absolutely. Is it hard science or is it a softer science? I think it's on the softer side. But that's not that hard is good and soft is bad. That's just that they are very different things, and some things are more tangible than others. But that would be my layman's take on it. I always just say custom keyboards, but I guess a lot of mechanical keyboards aren't actually custom these days. Exactly, this is the thing. Enthusiast keyboards or discrete switch architecture. So discrete switch architecture actually means something different to me, because that makes me go back to project management days and think of server racks and switches and all of that kind of stuff. I absolutely agree on the issue of definitions. My internal one is basically custom premium designer keyboards. Hey, maybe we go with price tag. If it's over X price, it's mechanical. If it's under Y price, it's not. And then you have like a bit in the middle. Mechanical actuation by leaf contact versus magnets / EC. This includes all of the Alp Space Invaders actuation and leaves out Hall Effect and Topra. If the actuation comes from bridging PCB points equals mechanical, and if you need a sensor for it, then it's not mechanical. Yeah, but I think Topra should come under the mechanical side, Oscar. I don't think we should say it's not mechanical. I just don't think there's a, like, I ask it as a question to challenge rather than necessarily as an opinion. I ask it as I ask it literally as a challenge. Like, is Topra a mechanical keyboard? You know, I'm not answering the question or trying to come across that way. I think there are social sciences that are not soft sciences. So I don't know. I'm making the term soft and hard. You know, you can use whatever terminology you want. Maybe that is. Mr. Blackbrook, hello. I'm a soft type of guy and fluffy. I like it. Fluffy sciences. Yeah, let's call it the fluffy sciences. But like, there's a whole raft of sciences that are based around, you know, tangible, provable theorems that have something hard and quantifiable, rules, structure. And then there are a series of sciences that are much more open to interpretation. You know, like I like in my head, I see philosophy is a soft science, but it's very much something that is open to interpretation. There's things like that. So I think hard and soft might not be the right terminology to use. I like the idea of calling them fluffy sciences, though. But yeah, I think there is a differentiation. I don't think that makes them any less real, as in terms of a science. I think it doesn't make them any less valuable. I think it just means they're a different categorization of subject that you're studying. I think that's all it is. If you take a crappy £10 Dell keyboard and put it in a premium case, does that count? Don't know, maybe. Approach is a social linguist. Words can mean what we want. Toper is mechanical keyboard. Done. Mechanically, because you spent what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A social linguist. Words can mean what we want. Yes, I don't disagree with that. Toper is a mechanical keyboard. Done. I don't disagree with that. But we still need a definition of what a mechanical keyboard is. Classical philosophers were called scientists by contemporaries. Yeah, absolutely they were. I'm not going to work in rebranding as London School of Fluffy Sciences, but I'm tempted. Yeah, dude, rebrand as the London School of Fluffy Sciences. I would be very excited to see that. Fluffy Sciences is a great way of calling it. I like it. The fluff is where the interest is, though, right? That's where all of the emotive stuff sits. It's not right or wrong. It's emotive. That's the difference. You have ads, yeah. Unfortunately, there will always be ads, even with subs. Scientists were called natural philosophers for a while. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree that it's absolutely a science. I think that you could argue that some elements of mechanical keyboards are a science. A science is applying logic to understand behaviors or expectations of a system, right? In very loose terms, if you are studying a system, you are studying a science. I can't think of anything where it would be a system where it's not. Well, I guess how you approach the study is probably what makes it science. If you're using a scientific method to understand or interrogate a system, I think it's science, right? Would surely attract a whole new market. Yeah, all the furries start going to Calane's school. Yeah. Some sort of spring plunger combo is probably mechanical. Yeah, but you could say that a membrane keyboard, which we would all declare is not mechanical, has a plunger and the spring is provided by the membrane. So, I don't think that's true. And you could also call your finger a plunger, depending on how you wanted to start defining stuff. So yeah. I think Cryo-san had a video regarding what is mechanical and what is not in World of Keyboards. Toper is mechanical. I don't disagree with that. If I remember properly, it works when coil of spring shorts itself and triggers a capacitive sensor. So I think it's contact-based in some sense. I don't think that it has to be contact-based, though, because a Hall effect is absolutely mechanical, but it doesn't have to have contact. Look at all these analog switches that routing and whatever have done, the Leica switches and that kind of FlareTech ones. The FlareTech ones are actually really, really good. I wish we could get hold of them still, but you can't. Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? It's an interesting one. I think it's more of a philosophical question, maybe. It's how you approach keyboards. Maybe the real answer is the friends we made along the way. No, maybe the real answer to this, what's the definition of mechanical keyboards, is closer to what Kalane said. Where he said it's a linguistics thing. Where if we say it's mechanical, it is mechanical. If we say it's not mechanical, it's not. But I think to have a hard rule on that, you need to start to. I'm not a philosopher, so I don't know. But we need to have some sort of test for that. And I can't think what structure that'd take. I can't think what sort of structure that would take. But I think it's doable. Anyway, some more of you need to sub to set the layup. Go on. Do the subby things, because I can't. I didn't know it was going to work until Ojam subscribed. I didn't know if it was going to work. I could only test it in a test environment. So yeah. Someone did ask earlier on if there was a JO3 prototype. Yes, there is a JO3 prototype. If you sub Food Gummy, I will go get it and I will show it to you. It's downstairs. I just need to take a few steps to go get it, but I can absolutely do that. My DMs have gone absolutely nuts since I started streaming today. Okay. I don't know why. It always happens as soon as I go live. As soon as I go live. Okay. I don't think there's anything urgent that I actually need to do immediately, so I think we're good. Right. So I've talked. Oh, that's the doorbell. I will be back in a second, and I will bring the JO3. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Okay, I am back. Oh, yeah, make up JFacts. I'm happy to do that. I just didn't click to skip this month on the alert thing. Fair enough. Fair enough. Seems like Final Mouse is finally released. Centipede Pro. Already see someone flipping it for double the price on eBay. I saw a lot of people complaining about the parts for it having injection mold flow lines. It's not worth the money it was. It's crap. Yeah. Making up JFacts. Maybe we do a prize. Maybe I'll send a desk mat to the best fake JFact. So if you all come up with fake JFacts, I'll send a desk mat to the best one. Right, here is the JO3 prototype. It's in the workshop, so the cold handprints because it's freezing. This is with GMK Black Snail on it. And this is I haven't put the magnets in this yet, so copper mid piece on top. It will see. This is very much a prototype, so you can see the off gas from the magnets, but the magnets are only on the mid case; they're not on the top case yet. Full gasket system in pink, and of course, pink PCB as well. And the gasket system goes around. So what we need to try and work out over the next few weeks, over the Christmas period when I've got a bit of time, is how we do the gasket that also works for the Topra plate. But there you go. Just have the little JO3 logo up here. Camera, please. There you go. That is the JO3. Keyboard shops are actually a moneymaker and he's holding all the wealth. Dude, I freaking wish that was the case. Like, I wish. Yeah, like, I have to go back and get a day job soon so I can keep my wife in the life she's accustomed to. It is pretty. It is pretty. Thank you. I appreciate that. JO3 is the final in the series, or would there be more designs? No, I think it'll be the final one. We'll do the JO1 final edition and the JO3. I'm not doing any more JO2s. I mean, we still have loads of raw units for those, so I'm not doing any more JO2s. There is a 40% design for it, but I don't think we'll ever release it. I just don't think the market's there for it. So the JO1 and the JO3 will be the final two boards. They are over a year delayed at this point. The next reason why we're delaying them is just because I want to do the EC conversion kits for them as well. But I need to make it so that the gasket will work for... Oh, do I? Do we just do 2 gaskets? We just do 2 gaskets. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. Yeah, so I think we just do 2 gasket systems and we just make sure that the case can accept both, and yeah, so there's a little bit of redesign work to be done, but it's not huge. I think there's probably about 5 weeks of design to get through, and then we'll do final round of prototyping, and then we'll go live with it. And I just need to figure out how we're going to do that. And what vendors we're going to work with, because I was going to do it all just at PT, but the more I think about it, the more I think it might be worthwhile to just work with other vendors and have local vendors. It's just less for us to do here at PT. We'll make significantly less money off of it, but I think it's in a world of tariffs and everything else, I think it's probably for the best. So yeah, it's still to be announced. It was STR, yeah. The prototypes were all manufactured by STR just over 2 years ago. So it was the old STR factory, not the new STR factory, because they have moved and changed the machines that they're using. But yeah, but all of the finishes are still available, and the colours are set in stone. They're not going to change. There'll be 3 colorways. They'll be set in stone. There'll be extra parts. That'll be fine. We do need to redesign the PCBs with Sipulate so that they can be either MX or EC. And then we'll need to test that. We need to redesign the gaskets and maybe redesign the mid pieces so that it can accept both gaskets, either the MX plate gasket or the EC gasket. And then we just need to go from there. So yeah. SPC edition. Convince me to do an SPC edition, and maybe we'll do one. Yeah, I'd like to. Like the thing is, like with the JO2s, we could do it because there was like 50 people in the SPC who wanted one. I don't know if we'd be able to do that for the JO1 and the JO2. There will be a Dynapack for it, Azori. Yeah, so you will be able, when you order it, you will be able to order a Dynapack for the JO1 or a Dynapack for the JO3, and that will include the thick plate that's got the pre-housings in and everything else. And I want to do that as ISO as well. So you could split it between Dynapack NC or Dynapack ISO, or we have a version that does both. I don't know how that works yet. So yeah, so to have a Dynapack which includes the thick plate, or alternatively, you could have an MX plate, and yeah, that's how I'd like to do it. Like I basically want, if you want to build an EC, I want you to open the box and have everything there ready to build it as EC. I don't want you to have to go and find, domes or sliders or conical springs or wires or anything else. I want everything to be in that box, and you just need to put keycaps on when you build. For the MX one, I just want you to have to add stabilizers and keycaps, because Topra is a little bit wilder as a thing. Yeah, it is a pain. Yeah, so that's kind of like the plan for that. Recently got an offer for a KMAC 1.2 in red wing keyless. Hope I could get it soon. Wow, KMACs, the original KMAC 1.2. Gosh, I've not seen one of them in real life probably for about 8 years. I think the last time I saw one of those would have been, maybe it's not that long ago. London 2018, I think. London about 2018. I think that was the last time I saw one. There's very few of them about. Nice find. Right, okay, let's do some unboxings then, because I do have some things to unbox. First is what just arrived by the post. I know what this is. This is a smart plug. I had to use a smart plug for the new sublight, which meant I had to take it away from my traffic light. So I have a new smart plug to replace the one from my traffic light, and that will get sorted out tomorrow. It'll take 5 minutes. Next up, what else do we have? Just click over the build stream. There we go. These are the new petal switches from Cherry. So these are Cherry MX2A petal switches. These are super nice. If you like light tactiles, these are very pretty. They've got that lovely cherry scratch to them. Semi-translucent top housings, pink bottom housings, and then a really bright pink stem. I am a big fan of these. You will have to subscribe to Zora to see what happens with the light. So yeah, bump like in browns, a little bit stronger than browns, but not huge. It took me like a month to get these in stock, and because they arrived at our last shipment, and I just didn't get around to doing them. But they are super nice. I'm really excited to build with these, and I did buy some as soon as they went in stock because I'm going to use these in one of the boards I'm going to show you in a minute. These are Cherry petal switches, so they're in stock right now. I can show you. If I do that, you should be able to see, and then we come down to in stock switches. And it's these here, the MX2A petal switches. So you can see it's got a semi-translucent top housing, pink base, and then a pink stem. So these are in stock. Yeah, light, tactile, gentle flowing keystroke, warm rounded acoustics. It is really nice. Browns is probably similar. It's a little bit more tactile than browns, but not much. A lighter bump and a bit more bite. Yeah, you can feel it. There is a little bit of scratch to it in the nice way, not in a negative way. So yeah, these are the last ones made in Germany. Yeah, rude. These are the last ones made in Germany, I believe. I think there is another batch of the MX2As that were manufactured in China of the same switch. There is no discernible difference between the two batches from my testing, but as far as I know, these are the German-made ones. So, yeah, so that's these. Hey, there we go, we have a sub. The light's on. Fruit Gummy, thank you so much for your Prime sub. Congratulations. Yeah, welcome to the SPC. So yeah, but these are really nice. I'm really excited to build them. I've always liked Cherry switches. I think these are going to be really cool to get in a build, so we're going to put them in one of the boards I'm going to unbox shortly. It's better than I thought it'd be. Hey man, we've got to go cool for the rocket ships. Interesting how Cherry will transfer manufacturing to China. Would it still be the same machinery and molds or everything for you? So the current way it's working is the molds are the same molds. They're the MX2A molds. I don't think they're going to use the old MX molds anymore. It's all going to be MX2A molds as far as I understand. And they are in China. And that's for the top half and the bottom half of the housings and the stems. The springs are still made by the same third-party manufacturer, which was always in China anyway. And currently, although I think this is subject to change, currently all of the leaves inside the switches and the pins, they're still manufactured at Cherry in Germany, because that's where the stamping die presses are. I don't think they've exported those yet. From the last time I had a chat with an engineer at Cherry, those were still there, and they were still producing all of the leaves out of copper and the pins in Germany, and then just sending them out to China for the assembly. So as far as I know, that's the case. Wouldn't expect a difference, but you never know. Yeah, I think a lot of people are worried that there will be a difference. I genuinely don't think you will be able to tell. Just knowing how exacting Cherry is of their testing, I can't see there being a difference that's noticeable or discernible. Over time, that might change and it may go up or down in terms of quality, but I think they're pretty set on having things as they are. I don't think Cherry will change that. And as I say, from my last conversation with one of the engineers at Cherry, the leaves are still made there, which is the contact points, because it's still easier to make those in Germany than it is to make them in China. They'd have to send, rather than just sending the molds, they'd have to sell the full-on stamping machines over, and these are huge kind of like cabinet machines that do 9 processes at once on a roll of copper tape. It would be extravagantly expensive to ship those to China, whereas with the molds for the housings, the injection machine itself doesn't make much of a difference. It's how the molds for those have been shipped over to China, and I think it's only MX2A molds, and they were already prepping for this when they started to build the MX2A molds, from my understanding. So don't quote me on this, but this is what I've been led to believe, is that when they were creating the MX2A molds for the German factory, they made identical sets of molds for use in the Chinese factory because they were already planning on doing this. So yeah, I again, that could be hearsay, but that's my understanding of it. And the person who told me that has never led me astray before. So yeah, we'll see. But as far as I know, still doing the contacts and leaves in Germany. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out over the next couple of years with whatever Cherry decide to do. But I am very excited to build with them, and they're so cute. They're so cute. Look how cute they look in the back. Super cute switches. Right. Next up, we have, and this is dropped into stock as well. So I'm just going to show you back on the home page. If you come down to keycaps, you will see that we now have MTNU 800 OS 2.0. So this is basically MTNU 800 round 2, which is back in stock. It's this lovely brown colorway, very vintage inspired with some really cool oranges and everything else. Super cool set. Second run of it. And I have it here. It is in stock on the website. You can pick this up. I did buy one of every kit for this, which I really shouldn't have done, but it comes with the gradient numero and alternative options. These super cool modifier keys, all double shot, really nice. Just super colourful. So we'll open up the base kit as well, because the 5-inch, yeah, it is just a Nixie Red basically. Yeah. Ink kit for this will go live online at GMK next week. Yeah, I'm still annoyed that they won't let us sell that. It's really frustrating because I need it, and it's very frustrating that we can't sell it. Cool little card, and typical GMK messed up, but here you can see the color. It's like a really rich brown kind of color. Super cool. So there you go. That layer is not messed up. Super cool. I like it when they've got the brighter orange legends. I'm a really big fan of that. So yeah. MTNU, always good to have some more MTNU sets, and that's another one in stock. I think we've still got Skywriter in stock as well. Maybe a couple of others. So yeah, so in stock, go do a buy, because there's not many of them. I'll see if I can get GMK to convince GMK to do the international kits and let me sell them. The other two sets that I want to show you is GMK Shaded. So this is also dropped into stock. There's two base kits. There's the black on grey base, and there is the grey on black base. So very nice sets, very crisp, very dark. Unfortunately, the extensions kits didn't make MOQ. I should take the numbers off, but the modi kits are in stock. So if you want the brighter modifiers, those are in stock and available. But yeah, these are the other two sets I wanted to show you. So we have a grey box and a black box. This is the black on grey base. As you can see, it's black on grey. BOG, BOG. Super nice set. Just really nice. Go with absolutely anything. For all those people that missed GMK Stealth, it's basically back, right? Super cool. And then the bottom tray, again, all of your other bits and pieces that you might need. Super happy this has finally come to fruition. Great key set. Just goes with everything, right? And then the next set is the grey on the black, and this is actually going to go on the JO3, I think, because this is going to be for Sharon eventually. She's already claimed that prototype once we finish taking photographs of it. Again, very cool, very muted set, just the opposite way around. Especially if you want something that doesn't scream with the legends and you just want something that's nice and, you know, what's the word? Low, what's the word I'm looking for here, where it's low contrast set. Super nice. Super nice. These are the types of sets we should be able to have in stock at all times, I think, but sadly that's not always the case. But those, and then I also have a keyboard to show you, which is in group buy right now. And no one else came up with any fake JFACs either, so a little bit disappointed in you guys. So the keyboard I'm going to show you guys is actually, did we have it in group buy or pre-order? I think we have it in group buy. I think. Is he right? No, he's wrong. Okay, it's in pre-orders. Yeah, the QK65 Mark III. I don't actually know what color I've got, but this is the board I've got. This is what we're going to be building on Sunday. It's Matrix at home, but in the best way possible. So let's take a look at the board and see which version I've got to build. I mean, it was the de facto best because there was no other guess. With the open tab. Right, let's tape over the open tab. Well, that went well. Let's just cut this open. Come on. And now making dust all over the desk. Okay, so in the box we have full of accessories with the cute little dog logo. And then here we have this one stabilizers. Let's see. Oh, this is all cables, bump-ons and gaskets, and the USB dongle. Cherry seems to be a bit lazy. At least Honey and Petals seem promising, but I, for example, don't like orange. Why don't they make the same translucent stems as OG Hyros or Clears? They certainly won't be able to make contacts like the original Hyrose, but I guess everyone would like to see more enthusiastic approach to old switches. I don't think that people do want to see old switches. I think that there's very, very few people that want to see old switches. That's the real enthusiasts in the market. Everyone else wants new. Everyone else wants something new. And then, of course, we have our tools there as well. I think that's that take is a little bit probably biased towards the enthusiasts, the people like you and I, rather than necessarily the actual keyboard community at large. And then here we have the board itself. Let's see what colorway we got. Any guesses? Any guesses on color? Is anyone going to guess on the color? I can't tell, it's too dark. Green? I don't know. It's too dark. Pickle green. Everyone's going for the green. Pink. I didn't get to choose. They just sent me one, so I did not get to choose this. Let's have a look. In fact, let's look at the website and let's see what colors there were. So there's the green, which is really nice actually. Oh, there's the DMG style one. That's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool actually. I like that. Oh, there's the darker one. Okay. Yeah, okay, so there's retro white. That's nice. That's nice. That's also nice. That's also nice. And that's also, they're all nice. I do like the badges. Little screen. Right, new systems. Okay. I hope What would I like? I don't have the keycaps with this. I know it didn't come with keycaps, so what would I like? I think the Imp maybe, or the Retro Console would be my two favourites. You're not Black Simon, so it wouldn't be black. No, I mean, I do have a lot of black keyboards, but I very rarely pick black. Anyway, let's see what we've got. So, first of all, in the top half we have stabilizers, we have PCB and foams connectors for that. This is hot swap, but it is ISO, hot swap ISO. Excellent. You listen to me. And we have a universal FR4 plate. It is FlexCo, which is interesting. So there we go. And let's see what we got color-wise for the board. Oh, okay. That is really nice. Is this the... oh man, that is nice. Which one is this? That is really nice. I'll look at that. It is very much Matrix at homey. Let's have a look at the colours again. What colorway was it called? Okay, so this is the Imp colorway. The foam is scrunched up. It's just moved around inside. It just needs laying flat, that's all. It's just moved around. Like there's movement inside the case, so it just needs laying flat. It's not scrunched up really. It's pretty cool. I think maybe like Evil Dolch would work really well with this, or like DMG maybe, Redline, something like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's really nice. Let's take the cover off and take a look. Got the little screen here with the little buttons for controlling it. Another little screen there and button. I do like the shape of it, like, just super nice. Let's take these foams out. Super nice milling on the inside. Little pockets at the back here. Cover up the doors, boards and cables. Are these supposed to be knobs? Oh, okay, so we do have two knobs on the rear. Interesting. Interesting. Those are functional. I'll have to have a play with those. I do like how the red just pokes out. I'm not sure I'm keen on the little tab, but I kind of get it. And then, of course, the base. I'm a big fan of the base. Badge is easier to remove? No. Super, super nice. Yeah, I'm excited to build this. It should be a good, fun build. And there we go. So we'll build it with the paddle switches as well, I think, on Sunday, just to give them a really good test and see how they sound. Maybe we do use shaded on it, who knows. Right, okay, I think that's pretty much it for the stream then. I just wanted to stream for a good hour or so and give you guys some thoughts on things we've just dropped in stock. Remember, if you do want to order anything in stock, it will ship pretty much straight away. If you order today, it'll ship tomorrow. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all again really, really soon. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go get ready for DHL and UPS to arrive.